All right, y'all. Good morning, afternoon, or evening, whenever you're tuning in. I'm grateful to have you here, and we got some good old-fashioned Trump debate action in today's video. Disclaimer, this is about 6 years old, but new to me, and back then, I would have been considered a lib myself, so if I had to make a bold prediction, I'd say it's not going to go well for the liberal. I'm just saying, but I'm sure it's going to be a doozy. Stay till the end if you want to hear my input and perspective. Let's get it popping.
Black Lives Matter is funded by the White House, ma'am. By Obama, George Soros.
What about the people who are marching for Black Lives
All lives matter. Number one, all lives matter, okay? God made us all. God made us all lives matter. So if you want to separate yourself and put yourself on a platform about black lives, but what about that yellow man? What about that orange person? What about that purple person? What about them?
God made us all in his image, in his likeness. We all bleed red, one race, human race. I'll say it till the cows come home. My man is on the money.
African Americans are sort of kind
This gonna be a good video.
They get more killed.
This is what happens in black neighborhoods. It's black on black. It's black on black what kills these young youths in their neighborhoods. The Democratic Party has owned the black neighborhoods for over 60, 70 years. Look at them. Look at, and they give you a black president who's a Muslim. He supports radical Islam. From the White House, they the ones who created ISIS. Look at their policies. Look at their policies.
I love the hat and the shirt.
Yes.
My man.
Why is it that every black person I know, every black parent I know,
Yes.
who I live in a neighborhood with, has to give their children a special instruction for what they should do and not do when they go out, so that they don't get stopped by the police?
Right,
or
that's what they
killed?
should teach them. That's what they're teaching them. But they're not teaching them that. But they're not teaching them that. Let me explain something.
not teaching them.
The families, you know why?
Yes, they are.
Because a lot of
Everyone I
but
know
listen,
does that.
let me tell you,
And you know why?
rap music is designed to bring the black neighborhood down.
Degrading.
Let me explain
That
something.
music.
If you're walking down the street with your pants hanging down and you're listening to rap, and the rap is giving people the images, sell drugs, be a drug dealer, calling people bitches and hoes, the rap industry contributes to how blacks treat each other.
Feeding the chaos, feeding the lies.
What about the black men who are dressed nicely,
Yes.
driving in nice cars,
Yes.
and are treated like criminals as if they stole the cars?
Listen,
That has nothing to do
That
with
has
rap
nothing- right.
music.
But,
that
yes,
has to
we've
do
been
with
turned
their
over.
that has
Right.
to do with their lives not mattering. As
That happens to all colors, not just
do you
one. And
don't
it's
think
a
white
minuscule
people
amount of
get pulled
cases.
over?
Not
And
as much.
right, maybe. Yeah, you're right. You might have a point there.
I
But
do
still,
have a point.
most crime is black on black. It's not
We're not
cops
talking
killing.
About, we're not talking about
It's not
black,
cops killing
we're not
black.
talking about black on black crime.
But let's talk
Right.
about it.
Talking
You can't talk
about
about Black Lives Matter till you talk about that.
Right.
My man.
You
no,
got
we're
it.
talking about black
My
people
man.
not being as
Yes, sir.
safe when they go out, when they're treated by the police, and more.
It's time for the black neighborhoods to start taking care of their own neighborhoods.
What about a little boy who was just playing and was killed?
One of the problems with the black community is how we're perceived. So look, when we're talking about rap, when you compare it to the statistics, how 40% of violent crimes are committed by young black men. Hold on. It's a perception. It is a perception. When we talk about, you go on the internet and we talk about selling drugs, pimping women, armed trafficking, fraud, and all these things, and people who don't live in black
Which comes
neighborhoods,
from
people
the
who
White
don't,
House.
people who don't live in black neighborhoods, gentry neighborhoods, all they see is what they know
The
online.
White House is
and it is a perception.
to its
And
core.
when we hear police officers, 40% of the police officers who were killed in the line of duty were killed by young black men. It is only reasonable sometimes, not saying this is bad. Sometimes it is reasonable for a police officer to handle black men with a little bit more caution than it is for a 5'2" Chinese man, for instance. Because statistically they're not committing violent crimes. Statistically, they're not killing cops. Now, for instance, okay, so if a police officer pull over an Arab in Manhattan, right? Let me just put one.
Can I ask a
one
question?
okay, sure. Go ahead.
Most of the mass shootings in this country When was the last one that was done by a black person?
The sniper.
I'm talking I'm talking about mass shootings of innocent people. I'm talking about the police. I'm not saying that was a good thing. So if we have all these mass shootings of people with guns killing children and killing innocent people, why aren't we more suspicious of white folks carrying around guns?
Well, they are. I mean, white people. White people. The thing is, when we're talking about black crime and white crime, we're talking about proportionality, right? No. So here's the thing, right? So I think it was about 5,000 or 3,000. 5,000. Are you talking about police killings or just white on white violence?
I'm not talking about race. I'm talking about people responsible for mass shootings in this country.
Let me ask you a question. How many mass shootings occur as opposed to just killings on the streets of our cities? What would you say the ratio of, say, a mass shooting?
Very rare.
Okay, well, I can't argue
Evil
with
when
you.
it happens, but rare.
You're saying you're wanting to focus on these mass shootings and they're not being committed by black people, but you want to ignore everything, all of that.
There's mass killings every day by black folks killing other black folks.
A black person walking down the street to be treated the same way as a white person walking down the street.
Have you been African American? Because you seem to know a lot more than these gentlemen about being black.
I live in a community with black and African American
You have
friends.
black friends? I do too.
But are you going to say that black people walk down the street and say
Absolutely.
In my neighborhood,
Depending on
where you live.
And the
It
illegals
depends on where you live.
I apologize. I couldn't really hear the audio either, but I declare, hey, the white girl, the liberal, trying to convince the black man that he's oppressed, that's how it always happens. Like, they want to tell you, like, oh, you got it real bad, but do you see your skin tone? Or denial? Look in the mirror. He don't feel oppressed. He doesn't feel like a victim. He doesn't feel like anybody's holding him down. He's just pointing out the facts that how do black lives matter if we don't even care about ourselves? Like, if we're killing black people every day, but you want to isolate you don't want to isolate these mass shootings that are very rare, evil, horrible, heinous acts when they happen. But what about every single day in Chicago? What about South Central LA? What about all across the world? Black people killing black people, but black lives matter. All lives matter, but black people got to start caring about black people first before they can go chant and say black lives matter. It's hypocrisy. That's what it is.
It depends on where you live.
It just depends.
Right.
So you're going to tell me that women don't hold their purses closer, or you don't lock your door when you're going through a black neighborhood? Do you do that when you're driving through a white
Have you
neighborhood?
seen how I've been carrying my purse out here with 1,000 people I don't know? I'm not as any more concerned around all these people I don't know of all these nationalities than I am anywhere else.
But the thing is,
Lady, I've been walking around and people have been telling me I don't know what I've been talking about all day.
But the point is this: most crime is black on black. It's black on black.
Talking about black on black.
All right.
Why aren't you talking about it? You should be.
If we could reduce the main point is if we could reduce the amount of black on black crime and violent crime committed by blacks, it will reduce the perception of a threat when it comes down to how people are perceived. Black people are perceived in America.
I really think that Mr. Trump cares about you.
He's hired more black people than probably you have. Hired more Latinos, more Muslims than anybody else has.
But he insults them all the time.
Insult black people or Muslims, women?
Women, he's just he insults anybody who doesn't agree with him. What about all the money?
That don't make him a racist. That means he insults people equally across the board. He doesn't discriminate. He said, you can get this insult, you can get this too. He's blunt, he's to the point, he calls it like it is, and that's why we loved Trump. All liberals do this sort of thing. They insult people that don't agree with them, but then they want to bash Trump or bash the next white man or white woman that insults somebody. No, you can get this smoke any day. You can get this smoke if you lash out with this nonsense and you don't come correct and you just want to be this person that's middle-aged, that's educated, but not actually know what's going on. Then you could get it too. It doesn't really matter. That's nothing racist about calling out foolishness and draining the swamp. Nothing racist about it at all. Trump didn't care if you were white, if you were yellow, green, purple, black. It don't matter. He was not racist. But nowadays, people want a virtue signal. Me having this brown cup, that could be probably considered racist. My headphones being a shade of black, racist. Watch, racist. Aunt Jemima on the syrup, racist. Although I don't know how. That was honoring the woman. They took away her shine because it just don't make no sense. The things that they're doing nowadays, it just doesn't add up at all. It's like, People are so sensitive and misguided, it's ridiculous.
Obama's killed more Muslims than Donald Trump has. Just
icing on the cake. Just get that cake ball spread on.
You know what?
Obama has killed more Muslims than Donald Trump has. Extrajudicially. He has killed more
You
Muslims.
guys argue that he should be more aggressive. I don't understand. He killed more.
I didn't argue
He
that.
killed Osama bin Laden.
Well,
He got no credit for that. That was a good thing.
he did. He got the Nobel Peace Prize. That was his credit. And then he ended up going to destroy Syria.
Obama didn't kill Osama bin Laden, though. He had to go regardless. Robert O'Neill killed Osama bin Laden. That's the hero. That's the Navy SEAL that went in there and handled business. Obama ain't go do that. Come on now. Don't give Obama that credit. He didn't do that. Robert O'Neill killed Osama bin Laden.
And then now this whole invade and invite
I
Syria.
gotta go because I don't want to listen to this anymore. I'm just going to say,
of course
let me
you
just
go.
tell you,
Bye.
I will be really glad when you guys
See
are
ya.
all done and you leave. And Ohio can go ahead and vote against Trump because he's going to lose here. And nobody wins the presidency without
How'd that
winning
age?
Ohio.
He didn't, though.
He will lose here.
False.
Take it easy.
Was that racist? She wanted them to be done?
Hug a black guy for me.
Do you want a hug?
Sure, of course.
I'll give you a hug.
Oh, you love to see it.
What was the point of that comment?
I just said hug a black guy
But
for
why?
me.
What were you trying to
Because
communicate?
it seems like you have this warped perception on how black people are treated.
I know what I hear from people I know who are black.
And I'll tell you
I live in a
one of
neighborhood
the most.
that's 70% black, and this is what I hear from
And
my
I
friends.
did too.
What do your friends say?
Okay, so I lived in East Side San Jose, which is predominantly black and Mexican. And one of the worst things that happened in East Side San Jose were the police officers, if you know Mayor Licata, the police officers stopped patrolling the neighborhood in which I lived in.
Yeah, but you didn't answer my question.
why you
I asked
interrupting? Be
you-
quiet.
I asked you specifically what you were implying when you asked me to go
you
hug
asked
a
me-
black
you asked-
friend. You never answered that.
Because
were you implying I don't understand?
It seems like your compassion could be translated in a different way
No.
other than speaking about black problems, which you probably have no idea.
Well, I
The
know what
black
I'm
list.
told by people I know. So you may represent, I don't represent all white people, all Jewish people. You don't represent all black people.
Absolutely.
I'm telling you what I hear from the black community in my neighborhood, and it's very different than yours. I don't pretend to speak for the black community, but I don't agree with what
Had me
you're saying, and
fooled.
it's not what I'm hearing from people I know. So you can have
Very
your
respectable.
opinion,
Very respectable.
but your comment to me to go hug a black person seemed kind of snide and belittling. So that was not nice.
Apology on my behalf. You enjoy your day.
Good job, man. Good job.
Yeah, sure.
Hey, that was on the money. He was just going along with the rhetoric. It might have had a little facetiousness in it, but he was just going along with the rhetoric. There's nothing wrong with it. He said, hug a black person. Just because you feel like we're mistreated, make me feel better. And she was going along with the entire narrative that's painted that all black people got it bad, that they got it rough, that we're still living in the old segregation days, separate bathroom. That's not the case at all. Like, any black person can go do whatever they want, the same as I can. I'm a quarter black. It don't matter. I've said it time and time again. We've had a partially black president. Some of y'all correct me when I say that he's full black. He's not. Obama. Any level of success that you want to attain, you got to be willing to grind for it. You got to be willing to sacrifice a little sleep, a little whatever it may be, but you can go get it. The color, skin tone, pigmentation, irrelevant in 2022, but they want a virtue signal. They want to act like they're informed. They want to do all this nonsense when at the end of the day, if you just sacrifice a little bit of your comforts and conveniences, you can go out and get whatever it is. Nobody's targeting black folks. All cops aren't bad. Nothing like that. If you're just a respectable, everyday, decent human being and parents taught their kids and had the talk with them all, be politeful, be politeful, be polite, be respectful to officers, say yes, sir, no, sir, hands on the wheel, do what they ask. You wouldn't escalate these situations. A cop has a life too. They have a family most likely home that they have to take care of. So if you go reaching in your pocket, reaching in your center console, like, what do you think they're gonna do? Like, they're protecting themselves, their partner, their families. Like, they have to keep other people's lives safe. It's not because what you look like, it's because how you act. Approach life in a respectable manner, and you'll be given respect right back. White people, black people, don't matter. You just got to be smart, be kind, be safe. And you don't know who has a bad day. You don't know what somebody's situation is like at home. You may not be the actual target of their what they're doing to you, but you may end up being what they spend their anger on. You may end up being the target if you lash out and you don't just follow the rules. It's simple, man. It's common sense. You just follow the rules that have been set in place, that have been put into legislation, and everything will be all good. Stop acting like Trump or cops or white people people are bad. Stop buying into that false headline. It's not true. It's not true at all. And I'm tired of it. We need to get rid of this stuff. We need to stop talking about racism, and we need to keep it pushing. We need to elevate society. We need to get back to a godly society, loving God and loving our neighbor. That's how we move forward. But when God got taken out of the schools, when people say God isn't alive, God's dead, and they got all this dust on their Bibles, they don't own a Bible, what do you think is going to happen? When you don't have 10 commandments and you're not striving towards a truth, you're not striving within parameters, and you just think that you can create your own way, do whatever you want, truth is relative. This is how society unfolds, and people think they're informed when they're in fact living a lie, living in false realities, and it's false evidence appearing real. That's what this sort of fear is. Don't buy into the stereotypical nonsense. Black people, white people, we can all succeed. Nobody's out to get us. We can all continue to love and further society in the right direction. The liberal side of thinking, they believe in killing babies. They don't believe in our Second Amendment rights. They don't believe in God. That's why I will always side on a conservative side. I'll always stand with the right side. Is the right perfect? Absolutely not. We all are sinners. We're all flawed. I'm flawed. You know what I'm saying? I used to be on that extreme leftist way of thinking. But at the end of the day, if it doesn't line up with godly values, then I can't get on board with it. And I hope you're the same if you're watching this sort of video. And even if you don't believe in God, you can still be a good person, and you can still value life as in all colors and all shapes and sizes. Abortion, things of that nature, never okay. And if you believe in abortion, then I'm not gonna vote that side ever. Not ever gonna happen. That's my determining factor. If you don't line up with the value of children, when that nucleus is formed, when that zygote, fetus, whatever you want to call it, when that life, that genetic DNA that is unique to that baby, when that's formed, if you don't believe that's a life, I can't rock with you. But I want to know what y'all think about this debate right here, all this division, this chaos, all this virtue signaling that's going on. Comment below. Let's keep this conversation rolling. And if you like what I'm doing over here, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date on all my future videos. Share this video if you think it could help somebody else out there, or you like the value or entertainment that I provide. I appreciate it. If you want to go a step further and support the channel, you can buy this Plot Twist He Lives shirt on my wife's Etsy store. We got a bunch of different tees, hoodie form, a run of different sizes. Pretty much everything you need, we got it over there. I'll make sure to link it in the pinned comment and the description section. We appreciate you tuning in, allowing my freckle face to take over your screen for just a few minutes. Whether you buy a shirt or don't, I'm grateful to have you here. Until next time, I love y'all. I'm praying for you, all of our leaders, all sides, all fronts. I'm praying for real unity, and then we get back to knowing that we all bleed red, and all this labeling and bashing and separating based on skin tone, that's what divides us even more. All lives matter at the end of the day. Stop doing all this stuff chanting and start recognizing the value of all life. If you see your neighbor and they look just like you, or they don't look just like you, they don't speak the same language, you got to love them. You got to pray for them. Lift up society. Ask how you can help. Ask how you can come together with conviction and unshakable faith. And that's how we move in the right direction. But I can rant on this stuff all day. Until next time, I love y'all. Godspeed. I'm gone.